Lugere Yetiga Ningadaga Yola Yogi Sapi Buddha Shivone Shutia a quick lady wanted to get you not the eye. သူဌာနနဲ့သူဖြစ်ပြီးပါတယ်ဆိုတာသိရအောင်ဆိုပြီးတော့ပေါ့လေလွယ်ဆုံးနည်းနဲ့ရှင်းလင်းခဲ့ပါတယ်ခန္ဓာတိုက်တာအပွင့်တတ်ဆိုတဲ့နာမည်လေးတွေထည့်ပြီးတော့လည်းပဲရှင်းလင်းခဲ့ပါတယ်ထည့်တဲ့လောက်တော့တုတ္တရှိသွားပါပြီရောအကုန်လုံးရှုခွင့်ရှုခွက်တွေကိုသိတာအောင်ပြောပါတယ်ဒါမှလို့အတုဇယောဂီပုဂ္ဂိုလ်မှာတော့ကိုယ်ရဲ့ကဖြစ်တဲ့ဟာတွေမြင်တိုင်းကြားတိုင်းနားတိုင်းစားတိုင်းကြည်တိုင်းကြည်တိုင်းအခန္ဓာ6ပါးမှရှိနေတဲ့ခန္ဓာ6ပါးပေါ်မှာအတိတ်6ပါးလာပြီးတော့တိုက်လို့ရှိရင်အပွင့်တ6ပါးလုံးပေါ်လေကိုလုံးလိုက်မှမှတ်နိုင်နေပါဘူးစတင်ငါစတင်သားများလွယ်လွယ်ကစပြီးတော့သင်ရပါတယ်ခုတရားဒုစပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တွေဆိုတော့အထီးတွေ့တဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့ပေါ့လေအဲ့ဒီကစပြီးတော့အလိုရစသုံးရပါတယ်ကျန်ကများမှာလည်းပဲမိတ်ကြားထားပါတယ်ယထာပါကတဥပဿနာပြီးလို့ဆိုတဲ့ထင်ရှားတဲ့ရှုခွင့်အာရုံအလိုက်ဝိပဿနာစတင်ပါတဲ့တတိအမှားတိုင်းလုပ်နေတာပါဒီနေ့အဲ့ဒါဆက်ပြောပါဦးမယ်
In the previous days, Sayadawgyi spoke about the theory from the texts about the objects to be observed. And he said that rupa and nama, matter and mind, they occur in their own places. He explained by using the names, the base element, the striker element, and the spark element. And now the yogis have general knowledge about this to a suitable extent. Everything that happens in us is to be observed. But starting yogis can't observe every single seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking. They can't observe the 6 types of receptor elements, all the 6 striker elements, and all the 6 kinds of spark. They can't follow all these different types of things. When we learn something at the start, we need to begin with easy lessons. And what is easy to understand or to perceive is the experience of touch. In the texts, it says, and Sayadawgyi mentioned a few days ago, Yata pakatang vipassana biniveso. And this is a rule that means that we need to start vipassana practice with the obvious objects. And this is the way that we work. So today Sayadawgyi will speak about this.
Yogi nya ane de karo ko ye ka phit tmya nayuk taya de tu lu phit tung phit sai le ma lai lai pi lo mat ya da ba be siat le be ho yauk di yauk ma yauk ya aung thai mi da phit takae ashi thabo de le be nauk pai ja ye asin sin ti twa aung lou ya de thabo ba be ဒါပေမဲ့လို့ရှုတရားယုံနာအာယုန်တွေထဲမှာဆိုလို့ရှိရင် ရုပ်နဲ့နာဆိုရင်ရုပ်တရားကတာပြီးတော့ထင်ရှားတာမဟုတ်လို့ရုပ်တရားကိုရှင်းဥစွာဥစားပေးပြီးတော့ဖတ်ရပါတယ်ရုပ်တရားတွေမှာလည်းပဲပထဝီအဝတ္တေဇောဝါယောခေါ်တဲ့အခြေခံယုတ်ကြီးတွေနဲ့အဲဒီဘုံမှာမှီပြီးတော့ဖြစ်နေတဲ့အမွန်းတင်ဥပါဒယုတ်နှမျိုးရှိတဲ့တွေကဘုတ္တယုတ်ကြီးရောထင်ရှားတဲ့ယုတ်ကြီးကိုဥစားပေးမှရပါတယ်အဲဒီထင်ရှားတဲ့မဟာဘုတ်ယုတ်ကြီးတွေထဲမှာလည်းပဲဝါယောခေါ်တဲ့တောင်းတလှူရှားတဲ့ဓာတ်ကကျန်တဲ့သုံးမျိုးတဲ့သူကပို့ပြီးတော့ထင်ရှားတာမဟုတ်လို့သူ့ကိုဥစားပေးပြီးတော့မှားရပါတယ်ဒါလိုဥစားပေးပြီးတော့မှားရတဲ့သဘောကတော့ယထာပါကတဥပသနာပိဋိမေသောဆိုတဲ့မှားတမ်းအရာပါပဲထင်ရှားတဲ့အာယုကိုလိုက်ဝိပဿနာစတင်ပါတဲ့ဒါမလို့အခုဒီနေ့ဖောင်းလာပိန်လာကစပြီးတော့ပြောပါမယ်
For yogis, they have to observe all the arising matter and mind, rupa and nama, in their body when they arise. And the mind also must be controlled so that it doesn't go here and there. So this is done so that later on one will be able to know the nature of things. Although everything is to be observed, among mind and matter, nama and rupa, matter is more obvious, and so we give priority to observing matter or rupa. And among the different types of rupa, there are the four great elements of patavitezo, vayo, and apo, and there are also those types of matter which occur depending upon the four great elements. And of these two classes, the Mahabhuta, or the four great elements, and the dependent forms of matter, these four great elements are the easier to observe. So we give priority to those. And among those four, the element of air, vayo, is what is easiest to observe. So we give priority to this. And doing this is in accordance with the principle, yatha pakatang vipassana biniveso, which is to start vipassana practice with the obvious objects. Therefore today Sayadawgyi is going to start with speaking about the rising and the falling.
Tadivita maလည်းပဲအာနာပါနစပြီးတော့ပြထားပါတယ်မပေါ်ဘူးဒါမလို့ဥဒ္ဓိတမှာတော့ရုပ်ပိုင်းဆိုင်ရာကစပြီးတော့ပြပါတယ်နိစ္စတမှာတော့အာနာပါနပြီးတော့ကုဋ္ဌတာတွေပေါ့လေခန္ဓာကိုယ်အစိတ်ပိုင်းနဲ့ဆံမြင်ဝင်းကြီးရှိသည့်လက်တီစသည်ပါလေအဲ့ဒါကတော့သမထဆံပါတယ်သူကတော့အခုယောဂီတွေအထုတ်တဲ့ဟာကတော့အထုတ်တဲ့နည်းကတော့သမထနည်းတက်ကြတော့မဟုတ်ပါဘူးအယုတ်ခုထဲမှာစုစိုက်ထားတဲ့သမထတက်မဟုတ်ပါဘူးဝိပဿနာနဲ့တွဲပြီးတော့သွားတဲ့သမထပါပဲသမထဆိုတော့ဝိပဿနာနဲ့တွဲသွားတဲ့သမထဆိုတော့တကယ်အရှိအာယုလေးကိုသူရှိတဲ့အတိုင်းရှုမှတ်ရတဲ့သဘောအဲ့ဒါတော့ယောဂီကြိုပြီးတော့နားလည်ဖို့အရေးကြီးပါတယ်ဒီတော့အာနာပါနကိုလည်းပဲဝိပဿနာအနေနဲ့ဝိပဿနာဉာဏ်ဖြစ်အောင်ဆိုပြီးတော့သမထစံဖြစ်အောင်ပေါ့လေအထုလို့ဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒါမှလို့ဘုန်းကြီးတို့ကျေးဇူးရှင်မာကြီးဆရာတော်ဘုရားကြီးကတော့ Shubune Sate Womega Kipolare, Tautil Husare, Wayo Futapa Yoko, Poviro Tisara Molo, Erago, Uza Peviro Makaimare. You will live a yogi any time as Shumani Lavabe. Erago, Diga Taviro, the nation in Vame.
In the text about Satipatthana, it starts with observation of the breathing in and breathing out, anapanasati. But in the outline, in the general outline called the Odesa of the content of the Satipatthana Sutta, the first thing that is explained is kaya or rupa. And within the subheadings, there's anapanasati and also the 32 parts of the body. And these are jhanic practices, samatha jhana. Here the yogis are not doing samatha exclusively. They're doing vipassana, and in connection with vipassana, samatha is also present. We are observing so that we can see the objects which are really there as they are. So yogis should understand this in advance, that this is the type of practice that we do. Vipassana can be done from a base of samatha, but Mahasi Sayadaw taught by explaining that the tangible air element that is perceived in our abdomen due to the breathing is easy to see. And that's why this is the main thing that we emphasize here. And this is what Sayadawgyi will speak about.
Paumu Pemu for it, Paupe, so I don't know Nido, Tarai Mishibahu. Tavimelo, when it fell in his Sabido, one by Magaro, Paula Peles at the Kinshava Eduardo. Taumushibulu, yellow yellow. The same how much you shave it out. 3 times Lucy, one may got don't let you a pure upon it by labor. The Bogaro, don't think you thought it worry about it. She wouldn't sit a bit of chili, why your foot up body, lay to you this. Mahoku, Mushi Voodoo, Duma Yellow Yabo. Eddie, she a pickle where to see the pit that I Shumaya about it. Did I Shumalo, the little Marie, the thing and the people, the Yogi Boko, they live a year to a level. The Rolly Kinala Autobilosi, the Pong Peruha, Janga Mamma. A son should be looked at her, so we don't ever through Maweba Yabo. Captain Day Yatara Mahope Melo, Shumusha wounded sister needed. One mega late mules or a volley. That the Lekanjava. A she died. Shupata. Mashida, a shilo video, jump from video. Shumate Nimho Fusaro Yogi Via Nale Tabo Luvare.
In the text about the practice of Satipatthana, which the yogis are doing now, the words rising and falling are not directly mentioned. The rising and falling of the abdomen is not directly mentioned. But this happens in connection with the in-breath and the out-breath. The abdomen moves. This is something that happens when we breathe normally. And in terms of what we call it rising and falling. In terms of true nature, or sabhava, there's stiffness, tension, movement. The tangible air element, the air element that is a tangible object, is really there. It can't be denied that this is there. And, I need a minute to see what I wrote. And this thing which is really there is something which needs to be observed. So there are many, many yogis who have practiced and realized knowledge through this method. The number of meditators who have used this method is not a small number. And they don't find it strange. They don't criticize it as something fabricated or unusual. In the abdomen there is a type of air. They understand this and they accept this. And in this practice we are not making something up and then asking the yogis to observe it. So the yogis should understand this.
Buddha Sapire Maleve Chiku Manto Pasantilu Sotavare Missi Shitu Miyaha Mine Mijare Lusovare Missi Mishitu Miyamusu Taibevo Missi Shitu Zadaga Bagri Yomisi Upura Mopagu Diniatana, Yam Yesigo, Piovare Yamisi Shitu Miyaha, the Gay Shi Amandiari, a Teopolia Sa, Minhane, at Yosulovare. Then I will be also with of Yaga Putan Putato Pasatilo di Lumijatavare Putasora Chow Chow Pishia. Chow Kipore how Buddha look over there. Jatatagampi, Jatata Sotavare. Saya, Chow Kipore, the Buddha look over there. Saya Chow Kite Solochi, Yamoku Absent. She let she did over with some manas, she let she did over. It was Sadaya. She needed so that the wallet. Take the Yavare. A chow people widow, she needed the word, Erao. That's of Yaga, Zali, the Lune, Puta, Luton Talibadama.
In the text, it says, Chakumanto Vipasati. And that means that those with eyes see. So one can understand that those without eyes do not see. In this, it doesn't refer to ordinary eyes. It refers to the eye of wisdom. Those with the eye of wisdom see things right down to very, very small items, details. It's said in the text, Putang Bhutato Pasati, that to see what is as it is. Bhuta is that which arises due to causes. It's called Bhuta because it comes into being due to its own causes. If something arises due to causes, that means it's really there. It really exists. And so it's also described as vijamana. And what arises due to causes is called in Pali Bhuta.
Associated Tattva Lishuya Shayama, Nilutelu, Jipare, Mishua Mishaya Lucia, Chichile Tenevare, Matera Uma, Liatayada, Chayata Misibo, Tiro Shuare, Shayade. Leshula Luci, Omega Poundella, Top 10 Low Shavi. The Shubune Sabito people are Wayo Futaba Yoke, Lee to Yoke. Shayla Lucy, Leap and Tula Lucy, Wamega Pay Shatore, Tale Yore Live. Don't get it, I'll go and lay Yore Live. To live and live over to the Gashida. Tale Shamune, such a bit of chite. Pay move over to our to Cesarea, Chow Mepsida of Hobo. Shusha Musra, Shuji say Jow, Shula of our Section say Jow, Shayla of our same as she was a Shumisha Musanamo. But young and say like Lucy, Shuji, let's say, Section, let's say, since Pema Jolly to Ma Kailubare, Pompemuha. Do not cessate Jomaro, Shumu Shaifu Babe. Era lady Sayadaw Nene, Jogibia, she was what Nale Tavo Luare.
So it is said that Bhuta occurs due to causes. So beings with lungs need to breathe. They have to breathe or else they'll die. If one doesn't die, one certainly won't feel good without breathing. So one has to breathe in. And when the breath comes into the body, the abdomen expands. It becomes tense or stiff or tight. And when we breathe out, the air goes out and the abdomen collapses. So when the first is an example of air that feels stiff, and the second is an example of air that is relaxed. These are both forms of the air element. And this happens due to breathing in and breathing out. As far as the falling goes, it happens due to the breathing out. Breathing in occurs due to a series of intentions to breathe in. Breathing out occurs due to a series of intentions to breathe out. So the root cause of the abdomen rising and falling is that there is this intention to breathe in and to breathe out. But the immediate cause for the abdomen to rise and to fall is the air coming in and the air going out again. So the yogis must understand this first of all.
Shuji section stay sensing job. Shu Shabu Kore, Tommy looks at it, lady. The sister below, Pomu Fiera. A young angaro. Shuji section stay job, sit there, sort of say you can answer as a knowledge about it. Pomu, a jowman sit down, who a jowman sit there. Yuktiari Bear, so that you know about it. era nale biro yatatuga pisehi saya jaunu jau pipore tabo yuk tabo go da jia bare saya jaunu jau pipore yuk tabo so lo shi le be paramata dosa visa mana nyimok twe a phi paramata so da nyimok twe da ko be nya ne twe da sesa twe da mo bu nyimok twe a phin le beဖြစ်နေတာပဲသူဝိသမာနဆိုတာရှိနေတာပဲရှိကြတာမဟုတ်ဘူးရှိမှမဟုတ်ဘူးခုရှိနေတာဝိသမာနဆိုတာရှိလဲရှိနေတာပဲအဲ့ဒါကိုဘုဒ္ဓလို့ခေါ်ပါတယ်ဆရာအကြောင်းတို့ကြောင့်ဖြစ်ပေါ်ပြီးတော့မျက်မှောက်တွေအဖြစ်ရှိနေတဲ့သဘောကိုမြတ်စွာဘုရားကပါဠိလိုဘုဒ္ဓလို့ဒီလိုသုံးလိုက်ပါတယ်ဓမ္မဒီလိုဝမ်းဘက်ကပေါင်းလိုက်ပြင်လိုက်ဖြစ်နေတဲ့သဘောဟာလည်းပဲကိုယ်ထဲမှာမာရာပြောတာကြည်ပြောတာယူစီတာစိတ်ကတာဆူထမ်းတာပူရာနှွေးတာအေးတာမြင်တာကြားတာစသည်ပေါ်လေဒါတွေတကယ်ရှိတရားတွေကိုထင်ရှားတယ်လို့သူလည်းပဲအဲ့ဒီနဲ့ချက်နဲ့တွေ့ကြည့်တဲ့အခါမှာထင်ရှားတာမဟုတ်လို့ရုပ်စစ်တယ်လို့ဒီလိုဆိုရမှာပါပဲပရမတ္တတရားစစ်တယ်ဆိုတာပေါ့လေပရမတ္တတရားစစ်တယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဒါရှိရမယ့်အရာပဲဆိုတာပေါ့လေအဲ့ဒါလေးနားလည်ထားဖို့ပါပဲ
There's a series of intentions to breathe in, and the breath comes in, the abdomen rises. A series of intentions to breathe out, the air goes out, and the abdomen falls. So this, basically, the rising in the abdomen does not occur without a cause. It occurs to a cause. This root cause of it is the intention to breathe in and out. So, as Sayadawgyi said, yatasakang pachiyehi jatata. What is called Buddha in Pali is something that occurs due to its own cause. And something that occurs due to causes can be observed directly by us. Therefore, the word is used vijamana. It's something that is really there to be known. It is not there. And this is what Buddha is. The Buddha used the word Bhuta for that which occurs due to causes and really is there. So not only the rising and the falling, there's also hardness, softness, liquidity, flowing, solidity, hot, cold, lightness. And these are things which are really there. These are types of matter. So this air element also, the tangible air element, is also this is a true type of matter. It is, not only is it ultimate reality, but it is a real physical form. So ultimate reality, paramatta, things that are really there, are what should be observed. So this is another thing that the yogis must understand.
The kishi de hagobe jia babe, nyong jia babe. Velu ji male lo soro Buddha do. Buddha do sora tu phit dai shi nide dai bo le da bo phong tet la de phong ne dai be phong ne bo pai chat ba pai ne bo ma ya ma de bo pyo yin pyo de bo pu yin pu de bo e de bo ko yin ko de bo san yin san de bo jwa yin jwa de bo hlan yin hlan sha yin sha de bo di da Buddha do sora tu phit dai le ba de ဖြစ်နေတဲ့ကတစ်မျိုးကိုအမိတတ်တစ်မျိုးရှိရဘူးသူဖြစ်တဲ့အတိုင်းသူရှိနေတဲ့အတိုင်းပဲဒါပေါ့ဖောင်းတက်လာတာကိုဖောင်းနေပေါ့ပိတ်ကြတော့ပိန်နေပေါ့ဒါပေါ့ဒါဘုဒ္ဓတော်ဆိုတာရှုမှတ်ပုံကိုအချင်းရလေးတွေပြတာပါ
What occurs and is what we should look at in order to see and know. So in the phrase Bhutang Bhutato Pasati, how we should observe in order to see is Bhutato. We should look at things as they are, Bhutato, as it is. That means the rising should be observed as rising, falling as falling, hardness as hardness, softness as softness, heat as heat, cold as cold, bending as bending, stretching as stretching, lifting as lifting, moving as moving, placing as placing. Things should be observed as they are. If what occurs is one thing and what we label it as another, that won't be right. We should observe rising as rising, falling as falling. So this word bhutato shows in brief how to observe.
Padaso seiko nyiteo loya ma toya thainayo Tora yata thaina iya bo hle nida bo iriya bo ji 4 မျိုးထဲမှာဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ထိုင်တဲ့အရိယာပုဂ္ဂဟာအငြိမ်ဆုံးပဲဒါစိတ်ငြိမ်ရောက်ငြိမ်တဲ့အောင်ပထမဆုံးပြုလုပ်တော့မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ငြိမ်တဲ့အရိယာပုဂ္ဂနဲ့စိတ်ငြိမ်အောင်လုပ်ရပါတယ်ပထမဆုံးအဲ့ဒါလည်းယောဂီတွေနားလည်ထားဖို့လိုပါတယ်တော့မှာ
First of all, we need to make the mind still. So among the 4 postures that the body can be in, there are 4 major postures: standing, walking, standing, sitting, lying down. And among these 4, the quietest of these, the most quiet, is sitting. So we use the posture of sitting. We put our body in the sitting posture in order to make the mind quiet.
အခုလိုလူသူစိတ်ပြီးတော့ငြိမ်သက်တဲ့နေရာဌာနမျိုးမှာပေါ့လေတရားထုတ်ဖို့အစီအပြေတဲ့နေရာဌာနမျိုးမှာယောဂီဖြစ်လေရောက်လာပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ကိုယ်ချရောက်တဲ့နေရာမှာပထမဆုံးထိုင်ရတာပဲပလင်ကအဝိစိတ်တော်ဆိုတာပေါ့လေထပ်ဝဲဖွဲ့ခွေပြီးတော့ထိုင်ပါတဲ့ခြေတော့ကိုတင်းတင်းကြပ်ကြပ်လုပ်ပြီးတော့ထိုင်တဲ့ခြောက်ချီတက်တော့သက်သာထိုင်ရတယ်အဲဒီလိုဆိုပါတယ်ပလင်ကအဝိစိတ်တော်ရတယ်အမျိုးသမီးရတယ်အမျိုးသမီးတွေလိုက်ပေါ်လေသူတို့အဲလိုပထမဆုံးထိုင်မှုအစဘုရားမြတ်စွာကသိကြအောင်မိကြားထားပါတယ်
As now, when we come to a place for making the mind quiet, if we come to a place for practice, if we're a yogi, we should sit in that place where we find ourselves. And the Buddha gave the instruction, palankang abojitva. That means to sit cross-legged, not in a tight manner, but to make the legs crossed so that they form a firm base for one to sit on. And this applies to female yogis as well as men. They can sit in this way, the cross-legged position with one leg in front of the other, not one on top of the other. So this is the first instruction the Buddha gave.
Dutiyara Uccokaya Panditarama Uccokaya Imiyako Opayara Kuitara Soro Opaiko Garo to Lopi, Tukisa Pisi Dwabi, Opovaiko Besora, Uccokaya Panditarama, Opovaiko Mama Tawa, Kose Tigari Body, Kai Kuiviro Komiro Tainamagon. Seki Choviro Tainamagon May or now Lamiro Leve, Movo, Moji, Leti Lulamagon, Chomyo. Opet the Mara Saviro, Community, Chomyo, Kose degree, Elutayam, Elusotavara.
The second instruction the Buddha gave is Ujjong Kayang Panitaya. That means to put the body upright. Well, when we're sitting, we've already bent the legs, so this statement doesn't refer to putting the legs straight. It means to put the upper body up straight. From the base of the spine all the way up to the top of the head, the body should be at 90 degrees to the floor. Not leaning from side to side, not bent over. It should be up straight, with the spine straight.
The show yogi Tainaro, Kongiro Taina, Lugini, Pina Poguri Taina, Ninable, Taina, Shiva. The Bovaiko Kosa degree, Mama, Tavita Taina,
Some yogis sit in chairs, but this is for lazy people. And one should sit with one's back up straight.
The Mama Tavita Taina, Joshi Agaro, Joyuha, Mama Tavita Taino, Duatu Quinjachi. Quitainochi, Joyuha, Quinjamachifu, Majage, Okandamu, Borden. Now, Jim Badolushi and Yamito San Yaro, Tiro, Poveco, Mama Taresura, Joyo to Kuna to cook, Punjab Sipido. Now, set Taine Kandu Haleve, Jaja Taimuya, Choja Taine, Didi, Budamas Papiato.
The benefit of keeping our spine straight is that the bones of the spine are all meeting each other evenly. If the bones of the spine are not in place properly, if they're crooked, if one and another don't meet properly because the back isn't being held up straight, then this will cause pain very quickly. And sometimes, if we keep on doing this again and again, make a habit of keeping the spine bent, then eventually it won't be possible to straighten up. So each bone of the spine should be resting properly on the one below it. So the Buddha explained that this is the way to sit.
Kai Kong Quiviro, let out Vido, Omomafi, Bafi, Taina, Taimuro, the Lubian Taina Nivoli, a Lubian Taina Nivoro, the Kaya Atute Yogi Pokoriaro, Loma Shausha,
and leaning so that one is leaning forward and then supporting oneself with one's hands. This is, again, a posture for lazy people, and this is to be completely avoided by the yogis. One can put one's hands in a way that's suitable for oneself, but one shouldn't keep on moving one's hands around, switching their position time and again. They should be still, calm. So first of all, to put one's legs in a cross-legged position, pulinkang abhujitwa, ujong kayang panidaya, put the back up straight, and then put the attention, put the mind to where the object arises. Padimukang setting upadapitwa. That means to put our attention, here we put our attention on the abdomen, the place where the rising and the falling occurs due to the air going in and out. So we put our mind there first. When we have the occasion to greet an important visitor, then we go to where that person is approaching. And we look for the person, and when we see him or her, we greet them. So just like we go to where the visitor is coming, in order to greet the visitor, we also have to turn our face towards the visitor. So we put our attention on the abdomen, where it arises. So understanding this analogy, one understands that the rising and the falling occurs in the abdomen. So in order to observe it, we put our mind there. And next we just need to breathe normally. So breathe in and breathe out normally. Not make it fast nor slow. Just breathe in and out in a normal way.
ရှူလိုက်တဲ့အခါကျဝဲကဖောင်းတယ်လာတယ်အဲ့ဒါရောက်တာနဲ့အဲ့ဒါမြင်နဲ့မင်းရှိဆိုင်တာနဲ့အတူတူပါပဲဒါပဲအဲ့ဒါကျူဆိုရတယ်ပိတ်ကြသွားလို့ရှိရင်လည်းပိန်တာလေးကိုအဲ့ဒါလေးကိုပြီးအောင်မှားရတယ်ထိတ်တိတ်တာတဲ့အဲ့ဒါထိတ်တိတ်ဖြစ်ဖို့ရအတွက်အဒီကစောင့်နေရပါတယ်ဓမ္မ
So when we breathe in normally, then the abdomen rises and the mind is there because of placing the attention on the abdomen, just like being ready to greet an important visitor. When you put your attention on the abdomen and breathe normally, the abdomen rises and you see it. You're face to face with that. And when the falling arises, also, you're ready there to greet the important visitor, to be face to face with the falling of the abdomen.
ဒီကြီးရဲ့အဲ့ဒါဆိုမျက်နှာရှိဆိုင်ကျိုးမှုပြီးသားဖို့ရအတွက်အထူးသတိထားပြီးတော့ဗောလေအဲ့ဒါလာတဲ့ဘက်ကိုမျက်နှာမူပြီးတော့နေတဲ့အခါအဲ့ဒါလာတာနဲ့တခါတည်းထိတ်ထိတ်တွေ့တာပဲဒီမှာဝမ်းဘက်ကစောင့်နေတော့ဖောက်တက်လာတာနဲ့ဖောင်းတာနဲ့တခါတည်းမျက်နှာရှိဆိုင်တွေ့တာပဲပိတ်ကြသွားလို့ရှိရင်ပိန်တာနဲ့မျက်နှာရှိဆိုင်တွေ့တာပဲအဲ့တော့အဲ့ဒါလေးတွေဖောက်လိုက်ပြီးလည်းဖြစ်လာပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အမီလေးတွေတက်တက်ပြီးတော့မှတ်ရပါတယ်ဖောင်းတာကိုဖောင်းတယ်ပိန်တာကိုပိန်တယ်စိတ်ဆိုလေးနဲ့ပေါ့စိတ်ဆိုလေးနဲ့များလို့ရှိရင်နှုတ်ဆိုလေးနဲ့လည်းပဲနည်းနည်းမိနစ်ပိုင်းမိနစ်နည်းငယ်ပိုင်းလည်းပဲဆိုလို့ရပါတယ်စိတ်ဆိုလေးနှုတ်ကလည်းပြီးလည်းဆိုလို့ရပါတယ်အဲ့ဒီအချိုးကြောက်
When greeting an important visitor, it's important to be face to face. So we turn our face in the direction where the visitor is coming and we'll see the person for sure. So we put our attention on the abdomen, and when the abdomen rises, we see it. We put the attention on the abdomen, and when it falls, we see the falling. And we use a label. When the abdomen rises, label it as rising. When the abdomen falls, label it as falling. If you can't manage to observe it by making the label silently, it's okay to say it aloud very quietly a few times to help you pay attention better.
အဲ့ဒါကြုံမှုဖြစ်ဖို့ရာအတွက်အဲ့ဒါနဲ့မျက်ရှင်းဆိုင်ဖို့လေဖြစ်တယ်လို့ဖောင်းမှုနဲ့စိတ်နဲ့မျက်ရှင်းဆိုင်စုံတဲ့အခါမျိုးမှာအမီလေးတက်တက်ပြီးတော့ဒီလိုအသိမှတ်ပြုရတယ်ဖောင်းရင်ဖောင်းတယ်ပိန်ရင်ပိန်တယ်ဆိုတာအမီမတက်ဘဲနဲ့အသာလေးကြည့်နေလို့ရှိရင်ကြာတော့ရောတော်တဲ့ငမီးမှုတွေလည်းဝင်တတ်တယ်ဒါဘလို့အဆိုလေးထက်တယ်ပြီးတော့မှတ်လို့ရှိရင်တခုနဲ့တခုကမရောဘဲနဲ့တော့ကိုယ်ဝဲပြပြလေးဖြစ်လာတာပါပဲ
When we greet an important visitor, we come face to face with the visitor. And when the mind and the rising are face to face, then we use a name. We label it. And the same with the falling. When the mind and the falling of the abdomen are face to face, we label it. We say the name, rising or falling. If we don't use these labels, in time, they all look the same. So it's important to use these labels because they help us to see things more distinctly.
ဝိမိကဖောင်းမှုဆိုတာကရှူမှုလေးစတာနဲ့ပဲဒီကလေးဝိမိကဖောင်းလာတာပဲ စိတ်ရှုနေလို့ချင်းဝမ်းဘက်ကဆက်ပြီးတော့ဖောင်းနေတာပဲရှုလဲဆုံးရောဝမ်းဘက်ကလည်းဆုံးဒီဖောင်းမှုကလည်းဆုံးသွားတာပဲဒီတော့ရှုလိုက်လို့ဝမ်းဘက်ကစပြီးတော့စဖောင်းတဲ့အချိန်ကစပြီးတော့တောက်လျှောက်ဆုံးသွားတဲ့အထီကိုကပ်ပြီးတော့စူးစိုက်ကပ်လိုက်ဖို့လိုပါတယ်ထို့တူပဲပိတ်ကျသွားတဲ့ခါလိုက်ကြီးကလေးပိတ်သားကစပြီးတော့ဆုံးသွားတဲ့အထီစူးစိုက်ပြီးတော့ကပ်လိုက်ဖို့လိုပါတယ်
The abdomen rises in connection with the breathing in, and as long as the breath continues to come in, the abdomen will continue to rise. But when the breath stops coming in, then the rising movement of the abdomen comes to a stop. So we need to stay with this rising movement from the very beginning until the very end of it. We need to watch closely with the mind. And the same with the falling. We should watch the falling movement from the very beginning of the movement until the very end, staying closely with it, with the mind.
Any program program has secretly cut away at don't allow what I say, don't Atabaluna will look over it. Don't say that, don't be a man. They all ever you will do time a chain. It don't earn a chain aha. Aduta yogi ma te yichi ware. Ponte ladane, the founders is secretly cut out, don't appear man. They say that out, chain be a man. Be like a man to really go me. Pizza sabi edisi secretly cut out, don't appear me. Say that out, chain te be a man. The second era power yichi ware.
In order to get the mind to stick to the abdomen at the moment of the rising and at the moment of the falling, we need ardent energy, atapa virya, and we also need the factor of aiming. These two factors are very important for the starting yogi. As soon as the abdomen rises, we need to push the mind to make it get to the object, and we also need to aim the mind. As soon as the abdomen falls, we need to make the effort to observe it. We need to push the mind to the object, and we also need to aim the mind. So every second of the time, these two factors of aiming and effort should be present. It's very important.
As a little see, I say that the Bogaro say your yet a pin, being football. Popo Sasa below Lenin and Sida, Edam Boro. Say a second one, a Sato Talita. Chichi Joya, Popo Sasa, Piti Pindre, Ediniama, Pinania, Mavolidia, Nucha techo video ni Satu Gona Boro. Dilma Yuezu Taro, say ha, Kamago Boro, Kamagutel Mono, Kaunari, Minja, Nansa, Jansi Body, Tumia Pesi Generale, Tumia Nise Generale Body. So you get Uti Jetty Body, that I warm, The Uriat Haro appearing as a Macona Sete, the Urian Satu Talete. Yezu Taragaro, I do Yazum, she is Sega, the Charvat Chovio Volley, come out of Javara with the wind that would take it to Hoopinine, put him a sight Haro, Eradiva Jeto.
application of energy, mental energy, is so that laziness and carelessness will not arise. They don't arise when we apply energy because mental energy takes its place and one is instead alert and active. Because of proper aiming, then the mind doesn't go to thoughts of sense pleasures. There's no kama vitaka, wanting to see good things, hear good things, smell good things, and so on. And there's no wanting to harm others. These bad objectives are prevented by having our aim. They won't occur. So the effort, called virya, ardent effort, replaces laziness and other defiled mind states. And aiming is the factor that keeps the mind from slipping off the object and going to thoughts of sense pleasures, kama vitaka, or else thoughts of harming, vyavada vitaka. None of these arise with aiming and effort.
Agusalam Pajati, Kusalam Bhaviti Sratavara Yipate say Pikumaya Tashina Secretary Pikuya Vido Era Lady, the Jane de J. Two poor needed.
If one can observe every rising and every falling so as not to miss, if one can do this every second of the time, then in 1 minute the mind will be clean and pure 60 times. Even if one can only observe every other second, still the mind will be clean and pure 30 times in a minute. And this is dispelling or preventing unwholesomeness, akusalang pajahati, and developing wholesomeness, kusalang bhaveti.
Savija pajahati, anavija bhaveti. Savija sura pyosia kesia. Tiku polu besa klutara. Klutara kajara siti nyama wasura boli kesia le pitara. Dido Dhamma Sayadawgyi solution Siku Polubesa Lutara Modo Kaya le Kendore Kaya Fu Lady, Kaya Mukena Lady, or Era Lady, and now some power Tisra, the China, the second, the Scantola.
Savajang Pajahati. One dispels what is blameworthy. When the mind is lazy, that's it, blameworthy. But when we are observing, that we dispel this. Anavijang bhaveti. What is blameless and pure is being developed, increased, one by one.
Now so culture challenge Atana Sultan Prihati Mimi Kogore Mimi Buagore Sultan Lova Masinjio, Doza Masinjio body. Era sound halita ve Tashindora Vedetama. Legni Chuya Dovaretama. Ita Tamine Masika Mouchose. Second, Edufit as a Russia, Mimi Go, Tashi on Sound Halita, Tashina Go, Lifitora. Namely, so ခု10မိနစ်မှာ60ဆိုတော့65လီပေါ့လေဖြစ်တော့တော့အဲ့ဒါနိုင်ဝက်ဆိုရင်ဘယ်လောက်သွားမလဲဆိုတော့ကြည့်ပေါ့အဲ့ဒါတွေကိုပါဠိလိုဘာဝနာခေါ်ပါတယ်တရှင်းတဲ့စိတ်ကလေးတွေတိုးပွားနေတာတဲ့
And finally, one can draw the conclusion that attanang sudang pariharati, that one conducts one's life free of greed and anger. Every second of the time, one is making one's mind, one's being pure and clean. And if one does this for 1 minute, there will be 60 times in 5 minutes, 300 moments of purity. So this is conducting one's life, conducting oneself so as to be free of greed and anger. In half an hour one can think of how much this would be. So doing this is called bhavana, developing the pure mind.
အဲ့ဒီစိတ်ကလေးတွေဟာတခုချင်းအနေနဲ့တွေ့မှဆိုရင်တော့ဘာမှအားမရှိပါဘူးဒါပေမဲ့လို့တန်ရှင်းတဲ့စိတ်ကလေးတွေတခုနဲ့တခုဆက်ဆက်သွားပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင် energy ဆိုတော့ပေါ့လေစွမ်းအင်ဆိုတာအဟောဘယ်ကောင်းလို့အဲ့ဒီကထွက်လာတာပါပဲတခုနဲ့တခုဆက်ဆက်ပြီးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်မကြုံဘူးတဲ့အရာတွေအဟောဘယ်ကောင်းလို့အောင်ကိုပဲနောက်တော့ဖြစ်လာမှာပါပဲအဲ့ဒီတိုင်းဘုံပွင့်ဝါအစတံပိုးထားပြီးတော့ဗောလေလေးလေးစားစားနဲ့စိတ်အထုတ်နိုင်ကြပါစေလို့တက်တိုးရတဲ့ဒီနေ့တရားဆုံးသတ်လိုက်ပါရ
That mind, that pure mind individually does not have much strength at all. But if this mind occurs again and again, so that it is occurring continuously, one after another, without any gap in between, it becomes amazingly strong, and what one hasn't, the type of energy that one hasn't experienced before can arise. So, in this way, may you value every moment of observation, starting with the rising and the falling, and be able to practice in this way. That's all for today. Sadhu, sadhu.